Okay, we'll try and make it too long. I still think we should be doing this over the phone, but
I do need to tell you that Jason and Kent coming here at 11 a.m. But we're gonna get ahead by doing some things down below. You'll look there. Certainly Chris isn't gonna be on for an hour, you know, that type of thing. It's just the way things scheduled out. When they had to be here at 11, we would be able to go forward and do some things, but, so.
yeah, possibly they'll get here early. So with that being said, everybody go through the January regular meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Stan to approve,
Second.
second by,
Anybody want to look at the timesheets? Yeah.
second by Brian. Time sheets are going by here. Dan, I don't know.
There, I would vote on that first.
Yeah, you gotta vote on.
Oh,
the
sorry.
minutes.
All those in favor of accepting the January meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Sorry about that, thank you. Time sheets review, Dan, anything that you had, or probably haven't had time to look that over?
Well, there's only one thing this month, and that's a sheriff's department thing, based on a resignation. You know, I had requested to get them submitted at a certain time so that through payroll, leave could be paid out and so on, but that never occurred, so. Other than that, they're perfectly fine.
Okay. Kind of the same old. Okay, let's go to the bills next.
Are we, is there 10,000 for the sheriff cameras? Is that finally, are we finally done with the cameras, or is there going to be more coming?
I wasn't being sarcastic when I said you're probably never done.
Okay, no, I'm just curious.
And here's proof of the point. We got it just from Tammy where on the 19th, there's a meeting about these AT&T towers. The one down by Danoff will cover south of Harvey, blah, blah, blah. And somewhere along the line here, it says may need new, updated new cell phones, cameras, blah, blah, blah. Never ending. Anything else on the bills? There was one thing I saw yesterday.
Yeah, and the state radio is 19,000. That's a 911
Well, I see KLJ finally sent the bill for the.
Yeah,
bill. 78,000.
that's the one I was looking at, yeah.
So like on the general, all the sheriff's department stuff comes on here and stuff too, like for like Criders, 4,500, is that like a sheriff's vehicle or?
I don't know what that one is.
Okay.
Which one is that, Brian?
Crider Auto Works.
Bottom of the first page.
About 6 up.
That might have something to do with their outfitting.
Yeah, they're outfitting a new
It
vehicle.
outfitted that car,
Oh, sure.
Yep.
but he was supposed to do some trading of another vehicle, and that must not have worked.
This is Crider's up here, so I mean, he's
Or
not
Crider.
doing that stuff up here.
Oh, this is the Crider, local Crider.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it used to be,
Cradle.
Criders, yeah.
What did they put in something for 4,500?
Yeah.
vehicle maintenance, it says.
I mean, vehicle stuff is all just sheriff's department, right? There's no other.
Yeah, if it was social services, that would be taken care of in a separate fund. So.
Yeah.
well, the road crew has a pickup.
That's gotta be under the highway.
But yeah, that would be under highway, that wouldn't be general. Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of checks that were sent to Association of Counties There's a lot of services that
It's
we,
dues time and all those
Once a
different
year.
types of things, yeah.
any other questions on the bills? Would entertain a motion to accept them.
Motion.
Young Brian, motion to accept the bills, Boone second. Any discussion? Any other discussion? No other discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Balance sheet is the next on the list. Want to explain, Dan?
All pretty much straightforward, obviously. This is revenue time of the year, so the balance sheet looks fantastic. And it's hold on for the next 2 months or whatever, but no. Coming up to February 15th, we'll have the vast majority of our taxes paid at that particular point in time, so. Same areas are still problematic, but even they're starting to look better just because of tax revenue. Do you have any questions on anything there? Still have a few dollars in that House Bill 1066, and that will continue to pay off, dollars towards that County 5 project, and the remaining balance obviously will be utilized towards the Hamburg Slough project, so that will be spent down. We reported on that around Thanksgiving to the state and told them that those dollars were allocated, otherwise they would take them out of our hide in this next go-round.
Highway 5 should be done now, shouldn't it?
I know it's close.
2 miles.
No, that paving project is what he's referring to.
Oh.
There's
Oh, yeah.
still some engineering stuff.
There is?
Well,
Well,
I would say we'll still get a couple more
you think so?
bills.
I was thinking that last one should be it.
hard to say.
Yeah.
Other than that, just getting ready to pay out to, well, I think we already did actually process the stuff to the cities, the townships, the ambulance districts, school districts get paid every month, I guess. But, so February is the first payment we make to those guys.
I have a question on social services. Is that balance generally between, and I look back at some of these other balance sheets between, well, this month it's bigger than normal, but I can't find any under 700,000. Is that what it generally runs, between 700,000 and 1.2 million?
Well, we had, I think in the report we sent in, we showed we had a balance at year end of over $191,000 or something like that. So it's always going to be a respectable balance, but they paid, and so it's higher now.
Okay.
And indirects came in, so we will pay out to Foster and Eddy County their portions. But yeah, that will be there for payroll, and then they'll pay again in either June or July, the other half. So there's always going to be a solid balance there, I think.
Okay.
Along that topic is, or whatever with Foster and Eddy County, is that all taken care of now?
Yep. And so they sent out information, and so right to the cent, they'll receive their indirect money, and then they're responsible for their indirect costs. We don't pay them anymore, and settle up at the end, so.
So this isn't an ongoing thing that,
What we had isn't an ongoing thing, that's over and done with.
Right.
So 2025, they send out the indirect payment that's based on a formula, and then we just give them their money,
okay,
and they pay their own indirect costs.
So it's relatively simple from here on out.
Yeah,
no more questions
Good.
asked.
so we'll write them each 2 checks a year. And
We can't get them for keeping their money.
Well,
Basically,
Brian's on that committee, so everybody was,
Everybody's happy here, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
that's what I was looking for, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cut and dry what's what now, so.
Good.
And it's not, it's certainly not a big amount of money. Let me tell you what it is. Eddy County will receive $2,159 two different times this year. And Foster is a little bit more. They're gonna receive $8,138.50 two different times this year. And then Wells County just keeps the rest. So. And it's all based on a formula. It isn't anything that I did. That's issued by the state, so.
So is the overall program that's being run by the state, is it all pretty good shape now, or?
It still lacks any level of personality that you might, you know, they have a formula. I don't know what kind of education you'd have to understand it. Directors don't understand it, the boards don't understand it, the auditors don't understand it. State has hired an accounting firm that has just an incredibly hard to understand formula. Everybody, I would assume people get treated equally, but I wouldn't be able to discern if they were or weren't.
Because at one point, we were losing a lot of directors because of this, weren't we, or throughout the
Well,
state?
It's a hard field to hire in, but so is everything around here, I guess, but because the state issues the funds, that's what gives them the authority to take your personnel here in Wells County and work on Cass County's problems and Grand Forks County's problems,
Yeah.
so on and so forth. And I assume, you know, when they were talking about taking over the clerk of court, it was kind of the same concept was coming, that they could have viewers do stuff or stuff.
That's why Carl was against that.
And who knows, I mean, that might end up being the future of rural county government.
It might, yeah, it might be the coming thing, is right. Okay, anybody entertain a motion to accept the balance sheet?
So moved.
Old Brian moved, second.
Second.
Other Brian. Motion made and second. Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing no other discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The signatures on the bank CDs. I don't think we have a paper on that, right? But it's on your email.
Yep.
And that represents no change from last month. We have our next one coming up here on the 14th that we'll renew, and then I think we're going to look at either CDs or money market at that time. But the sheet that I did send out in your electronic packet has no change from January.
Okay.
But now we're in the tax collection season that you really could be pretty aggressive in putting some new monies in there, right?
Yes.
Okay. I guess I encourage you or Laura Mache, either one, right? Either one can do that, right?
Yeah.
You don't need a approval or anything from us, or?
No. This is kind of what you're doing is giving the authority each month. And the bank requires that because we usually have to show them the minutes that you authorize us to either take money out or put money in. So that's why we do this every month.
So it's in that you investigate like without penalty, the shortest amount of time you can put some in?
Well, and you kind of have to, you keep hearing that interest rates are going down or whatever, and they have. So what we were getting, 5.24 or something like that is now 4.7 or whatever, and that's why I want to look at the money market element, because there is no
Penalty.
early penalties for withdrawal or anything like that. You can have your money today if you need to have it, as opposed to a CD, you have to forfeit the interest or what have you, so.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna look at that a little bit, and if it makes sense to do that, we're going to do that.
Well, you and Laura have been doing a great job with that.
Well,
It's boosted some extra money there.
and it's interesting, you know, some of that stuff we got, $100,000 worth of interest on it.
Well, right.
It pays for a couple of positions here at the county. It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
It kind of messes with your head in that, $3 million at 4% is 120 grand a year. That's $300 a day, and that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Christmas Eve, New Year's Day, every day, so yeah, it's a big deal. And if you can do the money market, and that's why I asked about Health and Human Services, some of that money could be in a CD. It really could. I mean, yeah, it ebbs and flows, but because if it just sits there, who's making money on that money right now? The bank is. Because they're investing it. They don't have it in a pocket over here. They have a money market or a treasury bill or some avenue in which they're investing it. So yeah, I encourage you to be as aggressive as you can be there, because
In the social services deal, would the state have regulations about that?
no,
No.
they don't regulate
I'm just
the
curious.
bank.
Yeah, I'm just curious,
Well,
because the state funds it, that's why I was asking.
no, and it's their money, but if we're a holder of it, we can hold it in a CD just as well as in the bank. And we then collect that interest, not social services,
Right.
because we're the holder of that, so,
I
anyway.
suppose that would have to be discussed at that department.
That would be the director that you have.
No, I don't think it would
No,
work. No.
It's Wells County money that we use to pay their payroll and
Right.
pay their bills.
That's, no.
As long as
They don't need to know about that.
Yeah, as long as we cover whatever we're supposed to with them.
Correct.
Good.
You obviously gotta do that.
Right, but I'm just saying, then,
Yeah.
it's no problem.
Right.
Yeah,
So if there's a rolling balance of 600,000 at 4% interest,
Yeah.
that's money for us.
yeah, 'cause we're gonna cover it.
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we need a motion for that, right?
Yep.
I make a motion in that regard.
Do you want to repeat the motions?
Approval of the CDs and investments.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Second by Boone, motion by Stan. Any discussion? Is that including the researching the social service one?
Just giving him authorization to
Do it.
do as many CDs, money markets, or anything as they feel prudent to do.
Any other discussion?
If it's a money market, you can pull it any time,
Right,
that's not a problem.
that would be a good fit.
Well, no, I said too, even CDs, you take the penalty, it's not the end of the world, it's not slighting anybody, that's, okay.
Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Excellent. Let's see, what are we at?
Portfolios. There is no correspondence this month, though. Portfolio.
Okay. Brian, start with you over there, anything?
Had a visit with Carla, nothing new, but everything's going pretty well there, I guess, so. Hopefully Chris is coming in, scheduled, so, heard from him. That's about it.
Anything, Stan?
Well, Dan's here, we'll deal with the telecommuting agreement. Other than that, we're glad to see him back. Jana, business as usual up there. She's getting ready for her, marathon spring agenda with equalization meetings. But other than that, nothing out of the ordinary.
I don't have nothing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, well, with NDSU, we never hired that person for
County
the,
agent.
for county agent. So they're, Dina Kemen is still working on trying to find another person for that position.
Why didn't that one get hired? Didn't want it, or?
Well, we just didn't feel it was fit for the job. And Brian was there with
Which one of you guys got that portfolio?
me. I do.
So they're gonna keep looking there?
Yep.
So every time we don't have one, we're saving money there, right?
A little bit.
Half of a
You're
salary.
half of a director, but
Yeah.
obviously it puts some stress on the assistant.
Right.
And how's that working? Is she okay then?
She hasn't said anything good or bad about her. I'd asked her a little while ago if there was any kickback, and she said there wasn't.
Well, they've had these recertification, pesticide recertifications.
Yeah,
this
but they
winter.
get, the gal that was here has been coming and
He
helping.
came and did it.
Well, I know, but
Right.
she still has to set stuff up, send out.
Nina makes sure them are covered. She makes sure that what they need a director for, they're covered.
You know, one time when one of the times when we were without somebody, the question kept coming up, do we need a county agent anymore? For that part of it, every elevator's got their agronomists and stuff, but to me, the big thing is the 4-H deal. County agent's job is not like it used to be.
No.
No. Not when you got all these agronomists at every elevator.
And I think that's the problem, that's why you can't get county agent, because they can go be an agronomist for a lot more money. So, whatever. Mine, if I repeat it, what's gonna be happening to Highway Brent will repeat it, so
Yeah,
it'll take longer anyway. And other than that, everything else is going pretty good. They've all commented on supporting Dan and stuff, so. Right.
The fair is researching, getting acts, they're trying to get everything together. Sounds like they got things going. I talked to Oliver the other day, and things are going very well for him. He's on top of a lot of stuff, very, very communicatable, very workable. We can be very thankful for that.
He's working, he's had some pretty big cases since he's
Oh, yeah,
been there.
and he's right along with him. Good.
Was there some legislator of giving each county fair extra money? Did anybody see that?
I
County
did-
fairs?
Yeah.
I did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, to give an allocation to every county fair to assist with that. They talk about the educational value of the fair, and that's kind of the niche of it.
See, maybe I heard it was like $100,000 for each.
Whether it passes or not remains to be seen.
Well, exactly, but that was
Yeah, that was
for all
proposed.
those bills,
Yeah.
That would help.
Well, that would be a boost for most of you guys. Okay, we ought to, is there anything on department briefings you had, Dan, or what's that?
Well, that's
Nothing,
people
nothing
coming.
there.
Okay. Well, I guess Ann is here. You wanna come on up?
You bet.
Good morning.
Reading material, huh?
Reading material, yes, resource centers. For your reading pleasure. There's a copy for you. I just wanted to, Dan invited me to give you a little spiel on the update on the Soil Conservation District and where we're at. As a whole, we're doing well. We're happy to have Spencer on as a full-time soil conservation technician, so that's good. He's also the watershed coordinator dealing with Harvey Dam and the Department of Environmental Quality, and that's very helpful. We finished 2024. 2024 was a tough year for us financially and conservationally and everything. We had only 25,000 feet of trees were planted. In the 28 years I have been planting trees, that's the least amount of trees we've ever planted. The reason is twofold, I suppose. We've had, the staff changing and not having cost share really readily available for producers to plant trees. the way it used to be, you wanted to plant trees, you'd come into the office, you'd sign up, and you could get cost share to plant trees. Now you have to go through, if you sign up now in 25, you might be able to plant in 26, but probably not until 27. Because you have to go through all the
Way more
stuff.
hoops.
It's just a lot of more hoops to get the cost share.
Yeah.
And so more people are starting now just to say, you know what, we're gonna plant trees without cost share. And we can do that easily, you know, we still make the same recommendations. We're not gonna plant palm trees here because they're not gonna grow. We're gonna plant trees that will grow in the soil. But we don't have to jump through as many hoops. So hopefully now Spencer has been with us almost a full year, and he's learned a lot of what goes into Soil Conservation District work. And that's going to help a lot moving forward. And the water quality stuff, you know, he's really done an excellent job of getting samples in the first year, which is we've just finished the first year of sampling. And that's what he's going to go over with you, some of the results. This is all preliminary results, but it's interesting nonetheless to see what's going on out there and then how we can move forward. We'll be coming to you again in sometime mid-year to talk about, this is the assessment phase, it ends in September. And if we want to go on to an implementation phase with the Department of Environmental Quality 319 project, it's usually a 60-40 or 80-20 cost share to implement practices to address whatever problems the assessment phase reveals to us.
Well, you guys are welcome to come in anytime, you don't have to wait that long, because this project's got a lot of questions from people that are asking about the river, and I'm sure you get all of that.
Yep, yeah, and we can come in every couple months. We just now received the data from all of the water sampling last year, so it takes time for them to put it together in a way that we can read. But yeah, it's going well. And as Spencer, see, I keep talking, as Spencer's gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm a talker, he can't help it. But on the top map here, all those dots illustrate where water samples have been drawn in 24. The map at the bottom of the page, that red line, that's Cheyenne River, and that indicates it's impaired. That nitrogen, phosphorus, sediments exceed what is recommended, exceed what is preferred for water quality. So I'm going to hand that over to Spencer, who can take you through the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of add to what Ann was, before I went into this work, just even about the trees, I never thought that you would have a stack of 100 pages of paper and applications and all this stuff just to plant some rows of trees. It's pretty insane. But to the water, yeah, say we just completed year 1 of 2 in our assessment phase for the new Upper Cheyenne watershed assessment. So as you can see and kind of recap, the green dots on that map are all stream sites that I sample at least once a week or 5 times a month. So I collect at stream beds for 3 different things. That's complete nutrients, total dissolved or total suspended solids, and E. coli. Then I have a lake site as well there at the deepest point of the Harvey Reservoir, where we also sample for nutrients, total suspended solids, cyanobacteria, and chlorophyll. So there's a